Hi, it's the 14th of April. It is about 3 p.m. And I'm going to be doing 2 plushies today. I've not been able to craft for the past few weeks, so I'm really excited to get on it. I'm going to do a little bit of a marathon for myself of crafting for the rest of the day, and hopefully I can get both of these projects done. So I was looking in my fabric stash to figure out what I should make, basically, because I knew I wanted to make some plushies, because it's not really something I've done before, and I have a lot of polyfill from my last project and a lot of fabric from my last project. So I was just kind of looking for inspiration, and I'm gonna take you back and show you the fabric that I found. Okay, so here's my fabric, and I've not really filmed over here before for my projects on this channel so far, but I'm gonna try and film here today. Usually I film over there, messy. Yeah, so basically here's the fabric that I found for my stashes. Just I didn't buy anything new. I just went through and looked through what I had. So first of all, I'm gonna make a a chicken nugget plushie. I think that this like gross brown, brownish yellow fabric would look really good with it. This is a no-pill fleece. Hey guys, I'm voicing over this part because the plan that I am saying right now is not what I ended up doing. So the chicken nugget plushie was pretty much as I described, and then the second plushie that I'm gonna make is a joint, and I didn't end up using the fabric that I'm describing here. I have another white fleece that I ended up using for the paper, and then for the filter of the joint I used that fleece that I'm pointing to right now. And then I used that red fabric, kind of fleecy, kind of not. I'm talking about how I got it from a thrift store right now. I used that for the end of it to sort of make the joint look like it's on fire, was sort of my intention. But yeah, I didn't end up using that brown thread. I think I used a white thread. But yeah, those are the projects, chicken nugget, joint, and kind of the fabric that I used. Okay, now that I've told you about the things that I'm gonna do, I gotta start doing them. So I'm going to pattern the dino nugget first, I think. And I don't have a pattern for it, which means that I have to pattern it myself. So I think I want to demo patterning something, you know, if you've never done it before, and if you have like the most limited amount of supplies possible. Okay, hi. You won't really be able to see me, but you'll be able to see my hands. So I have my sketch that I sketched out earlier of what I want it to look like. So I'm going to rip this out first. With my notebook, I'm going to rip out well, I'm going to try and decide how big I want the plushie to be. How big it'll be on paper is essentially how big it'll be like in real life. So it's a good time to sort of decide those things. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 4 pieces of paper and make it as big as that. I have quite a bit of scrap fabric, so I don't think that size will be much of a problem. And I think I'd like this to sort of look like a throw pillow. Maybe for my couch. And then I'm going to take my tape. I'll tape this. Okay, so there you have it. I keep wanting to use the word sewn. I've taped together 4 pieces of paper. And I think I'm going to take a pencil first and sketch out my design, and then I'll go over it with the Sharpies. I actually ended up doing it way too big the first time I sketched it out, so this next clip you're going to be seeing is my second attempt. Okay, now I've gone ahead and redrawn it on the other side of the paper, and I think it looks way better this time, so second time was the charm. So then I inked out and cut out the pattern, and at the end here you'll see me labeling the pattern. I like to label and save all of my patterns and sort of throw them into a drawer on the off chance I'll want to use them again. And that's your whole pattern cut out. I think she's looking pretty freaking good. So I have to ask for some forgiveness here, because this is the first time I've ever tried to film both on my computer and my phone, and I was looking through my recordings and I definitely forgot to film so much stuff that I did and was thinking. But basically right now I'm gonna sketch out just like a little square to serve as the pattern for the joint plushie. I'm not really as sure about this pattern because there's the 3D element of it sort of being, you know, this shape instead of like this. You know, with the Dino Nugget plush, you just cut out the shape that you want and you make 2 of them and it makes a plushie. This is a little bit more complicated. So I think I'm gonna cut out this like little piece here and I'm gonna fiddle with it and see kind of what it does in a 3D sense with the paper to sort of test it out. And then if that looks good, then that's good. And if not, then I might have to redo it. And we have her beautiful rolling paper. So what I've done is kind of roll this up into a cylinder and figure out how thick that I want it to be, and I've sort of marked it out. So now I'm going to unroll it and cut off the excess. But I'm going to leave like a little bit extra just in case I messed it up. I think what I'm going to do is start with this. I think when I put in the like the top of it, I'm probably gonna hand stitch it just because I'm not really sure how to make that into a pattern. I think it'd be too complicated. So I'm gonna go back to our Dino Nugget plush, and I got my fabric and I've got the pattern, and I'm going to stick the pattern on the fabric and cut it out. So I've got this fabric folded in half, and if you fold your fabric in half before you cut it, then you'll have 2 of the same, and then you sew together 2 of the same, so you don't have to cut something out twice to make the front and the back of the plushie. Okay, I didn't film it, but I cut it out, and I left a little seam allowance around the whole edge, so yeah. I was kind of thinking that I could, for the filter, use the wider one, and then for the rest of it, for like the paper, I could use this to kind of give it the like 2 color thing that they have. So I was kind of thinking like I'd do like a little piece like this and a little piece here, and then I would I'd sew them together to make like a square that is this big. I'm not gonna worry about being too precise with this because it's just a square, so I kind of feel like, or it's a rectangle, kind of feel like if I mess it up a little bit it'll be a-okay. It's so interesting the difference between the 2 types of, well, they're not 2 types, they're allegedly the exact same, but the quality feels really different on them, these 2 fabrics. I got this one from Joann's. It's like so thick and it feels like buttery almost, is like the texture I described. And I got this fleece from like yourfleece.com, I think it was called, and it is like, it does not feel as good. Like this is like a blanket. Like, I want this like on me. This, not so much. It just does not feel as nice. I feel like this is like twice as thick as this, even though they were advertised as exactly the same. It's kind of interesting. I miss Joann's. Alright, back to the Dino plush. I have put the 2 good sides together. So when you're sewing, you're gonna do it on the machine. They say put the right sides together. That means put like the nicer side of the fabric together. So the side of the fabric that you want to be touching, that's what you put on the inside when you put the 2 pieces together. So that's what I've done. And now I'm going to just pin around the whole thing. Alright, here she is, all pinned up. So before I take this to the machine, one thing I need to think about is where I'm going to not sew. Because the way that you make a plushie is you sew around the entire edge of the project, except for one little part, and that's where you stuff all the stuffing into it. Maybe somewhere in the neck here for the dino would be really good. So I think I'm going to leave out just somewhere right here. I won't stitch that closed, and I'll have to hand stitch it closed after the fact, but that'll be the part that I leave out. I'm currently getting my machine ready to sew. So I've got like the bobbin in and I've got the thread up top, but I'm using an upholstery thread, I think is what it's called. It's like a nylon blend. My machine gets really angry with it, but I like using it for these kinds of projects where I use fleece because the thread is just way stronger. But I kind of want to show a little trick for how to thread the machine with this type of thread, because for a while I thought it was impossible and I thought that I was gonna have to like do a different strategy, but once I figured out this trick, I didn't have to worry about it anymore. So I'm gonna show you. So basically what you do is I just have like a little piece of like normal thread, something that would be easy for me to put through the needle on this machine. So I'm going to thread the machine first with this type of thread. So you can see I've got both of them threaded through one direction, and then right here there's a little loop, and then here's the thread that I'm actually trying to get through the needle. And so I'm going to put that thread inside of this loop with one hand if I can, like this. Okay, there you can see I've threaded it through that loop, and now if I pull this side, this loop is going to pull my thread that's really hard to thread through the needle. It's going to pull it really neatly and completely. It's going to pull it through that hole. Now I'm going to pin together the joint. I just kind of need to like sew these two together like this, and then I can roll it in, stuff it with stuffing, and see how that looks. I'm gonna do right sides together like this, and then pin that, and I'll just sew along there to start out with. So I've sewn around the whole edge, leaving that seam allowance. I've left a little thing open here, so I'm gonna pull the project through the opening, kind of just turn it inside out. Look at that. Tell me that doesn't look like a giant chicken nugget. I wasn't gonna do this just yet. I was gonna wait to stuff both of them, but I think, or both of the projects at the same time, but I think I'm just gonna go for it because this is making me very happy. I got it from a thrift store, so I think it actually might be batting for like a quilt. But it's essentially doing the same thing that polyfill does. If you buy that from the store, it's just, you know, a little bit more reduce, reuse, recycle. So I'm kind of fluffing it up a little bit, putting it into a little ball, and then I'm gonna try and put it into like the farthest part of the pattern or of the project. So right now that would be the tail. So I'm gonna try and force it all the way down into the tail. And like the good rule of thumb when stuffing things is to always do way more than you think it should be, because nobody wants an understuffed pillow. They're just really unpleasant. I think one of the first times I ever made a pillow project like this, I put like way too little of the stuffing into it because I thought as a kid that that was gonna make it more soft if it didn't have more stuff in it, which is just not true. So you want to make sure that you put even more than you think when you're stuffing it in. I'm performing surgery on a chicken nugget. I explained this so poorly, but basically I had finished stuffing it at this point, and I'm just doing like a little whip stitch in the place where I stuffed all the stuffing in. Okay, I've got his neck stitched up, so I'm gonna put him over here, and I'm gonna start thinking about this other more complicated thing that I'm doing. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to fiddle around with it a little bit. I'm gonna see if I go like this, like I fold it in half this way and then sew along this edge, it should give me the right shape. I'm gonna sew my straight stitch like a little bit lower down, and then when I kind of get to this area, I'll kind of taper it up a little bit. That'll kind of give it the more conical shape. And if that doesn't end up working, I think I can kind of stuff it in a way that that'll kind of give it that look anyways. So I'm going to pin along this edge and then like sew along that edge to make a tube. I sewed it up and then I turned it inside out, even though both ends are still open. I kind of love the way that this looks. Basically what I'm thinking is that I need to close up both ends. I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that I need to cut out a circle and then like stitch it in here. I think it's gonna look kind of messy because I don't really know what I'm doing. So I think white for this end, and then for this end, I think I might use the same fabric that I used for the chicken nugget. Make a bigger circle out of this fabric maybe? I don't have like a green. I kind of feel like that would be the best, but I kind of feel like this is close enough. And then I think I need to do some of this and then some of the red fabric that I showed off earlier. I think I need to do a combo of the two. So at this point in the video, I kind of went into Zen crafting mode and forgot that I was recording a video, except for every once in a while. So here I'm tying off what I was doing. This is what I came up with, is a little circle of the red fabric inside of the other color that I was talking about earlier. And it's supposed to kind of look like it's been lit. like a little bit of fire in there, a little ember or something like that. And the red thread kind of makes it invisible. Yeah, so this is what I came up with for the like bigger tip side of the joint. Okay, here I am again. I'm definitely just like fully in the crafting zone right now. It's getting harder for me to remember / want to film. But yeah, I did a little bit of like off-camera mining. I think now I'm going to stuff this and see if it looks any good stuffed, but I mean, you can see, I think it looks pretty sweet so far. I got it stuffed. There's one side, there's the open side of the stuffing coming out, and I've cut out just a little white circle, and that's just gonna go right there, and I'm just gonna hand stitch around and make it as neat as I possibly can. I just did a whole outro and I did not record it. So basically, recap of what I did. I made Mr. Dino Nugget. I think that this came out super well. This has been a project that I've been thinking about doing for a while, ever since I saw like a super cheap version of this online. I think I could make an even bigger one of these because I have enough fabric and enough stuffing, and I kind of feel like I should. I kind of want to make the other Dino Nugget shapes. It'd be cool to have a couple of them. Yeah, and then the thing that took me a long time and a lot more hand sewing than I thought. I think this turned out super well. I think I'm definitely gonna try and gift this to my friend if he wants it. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think I could definitely make another one of these. It will a lot quicker now that I've kind of figured it out. And it was an amount of hand sewing that hurt me a little bit just because my hands are weird, but it wasn't too much. I think it was like a good push. Good push for me. So yeah. Dino smoking weed. Oh my goodness, whatever will we do? Well, I've had a lot of fun crafting today. I hope that you do something that brings you a lot of joy today. And the sun is sort of leaving right now. It took me about 3-4 hours to get all that done, so I might go take a walk. But yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you later. Goodbye.
The moment you enter into any kind of human undertaking and relationship, what an act of faith. See, you've given yourself up. But this is the most powerful thing that can be done. Surrender. See, and love is an act of surrender to another person. Total abandonment. I give myself to you. Take me, do anything you like with me. See? I give myself to you.